the top 5 video games based on story, as ranked by me, Brian, the Unskilled Commander. Obviously, it's all subjective. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments when I'm done, but let's get into it. So, for number 5, coming in at number 5, Borderlands 2. And first of all, just because something's a comedy doesn't mean it doesn't have a great story. Handsome Jack is one of the best antagonists in video games, I think. The story is great, and not only just the core story, but all of the side quests. It makes you want to play every single side quest. It makes you want to engage with all of the characters, hear all of their little stories, and see how they're all woven together for the actual Borderlands overall epic on Pandora, and how they all factor into the different things. Even all the different ways that your main character can interact with them when it happens, which makes you want to play through it multiple times to do each of the 4 main characters. So definitely, Borderlands 2 is number 5. Number 4 is Okami. Besides being visually stunning, the storyline is so epic and so involved and beautiful that it just pulls you in. You're basically redoing a legendary tale again, because as you progress and you try and find the memories and understand the history, you realize that, oh, the hero of legend and their companion up against the giant beast, you're redoing it. But you have to regain all the powers, and you have to understand how to control them and fight all these different demons and stuff, and you get to learn the lore of each of the demons, from history and how they were represented in Japanese lore factually. It's just such a great game. I love it so much. I've played it multiple times, and the story is just, it pulls you in every time. It's funny, it's interesting, it's exciting. Definitely one of the best ones of all time. Number 3, Control. This isn't as widely known of a game, but it was just fantastic. The story is so unique, and this is one of the few games where I have wanted and purposely sought out every single piece of collectibles to actually read. All the files you pick up, all of the voice logs. I actually wanted and stopped and paused the game and went into the menus to read all of them, because it was so interesting and seeing about all of the different ways that the other world impacts our world and how it possesses the items and the powers they can do, and the interesting connection to the board of directors that, how they speak to you in the weird way that they talk in both business jargon and like wartime jargon, and you're fighting against this weird alien invasion called the Hiss that's coming from another dimension. It's just incredibly interesting, and I couldn't stop playing it because I wanted to see what was next. I wanted to see how it played out, and the lead character that you can see right there, how her story unfolded. It was just really great. It was way better of a story than I was expecting, and it just pulled me in. It easily became one of my favorite games. Number 2 on the list, Soul Reaver. And I do count Soul Reaver 1 and 2 together as a game because it is one continuous story. When I played this originally, the gameplay itself was just kind of there. It was fun. It was okay. The fighting was a little clunky because this is an older game, much older. But I pushed through it because I was so drawn in by the story, and the voice acting of the story enhanced it. So, Raziel, Cain, the elder god that, resurrects Raziel. The story between the 3 of them and how Cain and Raziel have that, ongoing, not debate, this the ongoing just war about fate, and how can you pull yourself out of fate and take control of your own life and make your own decisions. It was just so well done, well written. I love it. Highly recommend it, as now that it does have the remaster. As you can see, you can go back and play it on modern consoles. Absolutely one of my all-time favorite games. And number 1, BioShock. I mean, not just because of the twist, but the twist was crazy impactful. I literally, to this day, remember when that happened, I had to pause the game and put the controller down because I was processing the implications of what just unfolded, and oh my god, everything that I've done up until now. Oh my, and it was just boggling my mind. It was one of the best reveals I've ever seen in any video game ever. But the storyline itself, beyond that, just the actual story, was compelling and interesting. Again, another video game where I wanted to listen to all of the different audio files that you pick up throughout the game and learn the lore, expanded lore of the actual world of Rapture. And the concept of Rapture was a really interesting and fun idea, not only just being a city underwater, the bottom of the ocean, but the idea of being, science and creativity unfettered. You can just go and do whatever you think. Now, obviously, no moral and implications in no restrictions makes for horrible things if left unchecked. But the idea of being able to just be free with your thought process and go was it's really compelling. And, just diving in and seeing all the sub characters and their transitions into these weird freaks and evil, but maybe not completely evil, just because of the circumstances. A fantastic game. This also has a remaster. Bioshocks 2 and 3, well, Infinite, were also really, really good. I do enjoy 2. Didn't get quite as much love as Bioshock 1, but the stories, of course, are, besides being set in Rapture, the stories are different enough that I don't consider it the same like I did with Soul Reaver 1 and 2. Bioshock 1 is basically its own concept versus Bioshock 2, just the same location and same, big daddies and little sisters and stuff. So definitely go check out those games if you're looking for something fun to play that has a good story that's going to pull you in. And I would love it if you would tell me what your top 5 storyline based games are, because I'm always looking for a really good story and a really good game to just take up a bunch of time and distract me and pull me in. So please let me know in the comments. Make sure you follow so you don't miss content. Check me out on my other socials as well. Follow me there, and I will see you next time.